What's up, family? Second Sober Friday. Today was actually a little interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Why would I lie about something like that? That's absurd. So I woke up at 8:35 this morning, which is way earlier than I planned, so that's pretty good progress. Good times with that. I'm happy about that because I'm not trying to be sleeping all day and being awake all night. So that's good. My aunt came and picked me up 9:30. We headed to the bank. We got the documents we need to unlock my father's bank account. Got some money in there that is going to be split 3 ways between me and my two brothers. And it's going to be the first time in a while that I'll have like a significant amount of money. Not a lot, but I'm not going to say any numbers or anything, but not like a whole lot, like, maybe a couple of weeks worth of money. So I can buy stuff other than food, I can maybe get a bed frame for my mattress or, stuff like that. Useful stuff. Not alcohol, not vodka. For sure, that would be an unmitigated disaster. So we go up there because we got the document we need and everything's cool. And of course, I'm like, I don't have a valid ID right now. Is that okay? She's like, no, we need 2 forms of ID. I got my social security card. And it's like, all right, we'll go to the DMV after this, get my paper printout for my new ID. It won't be a driver's license because my license is suspended over tickets from 10 years ago. But oh well, it's my fault for not being responsible. Blah blah blah, whatever. And so I give her the document, and she leaves the room. About 10 minutes, she comes back. She's like, oh, it's missing page 6. I'm like, oh. So we can't do shit because document's missing a whole ass page, right? Of course, so snags, man. Like, people are not prepared to deal with death a lot of times. That's what this lady at the bank was saying too. People, they're not prepared for it because they don't want to think about it. Because who wants to think about that? Nobody wants to think about it. And it's the same in my situation. We're not. Even though, like, with my dad, we knew well before he died that, like, he was bedridden for the last 2 years he was alive. So it wasn't exactly a mystery that he was, on his way out. But that you still don't want to deal with it, even when you know it's coming. It's rough. So, oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll try to get that page 6 and, make a new appointment. But in the meantime, we could still go to the DMV and get that printout just so I can, as soon as we get the document, I can get the paycheck. And so we drive to the DMV, and of course, the motherfucker's closed. Which, I just busted out laughing. As soon as we turned the corner and we saw the building, the parking lot's completely empty, I just started laughing. Like, of course the motherfucker's closed. The bank's open. It's not Christmas anymore. It's the 26th now, but of course it's closed. I mean, of course, right? So that's funny. And so my aunt, we're driving back to my house for her to drop me off. She takes a wide turn at an intersection. She takes a wide left turn, and immediately we get pulled over. And I'll tell you right now, when you get pulled over and you don't give a fuck and you don't have an adrenaline dump because you're not doing anything wrong, you're not in possession of anything illegal. This cop pulled me over, did not give a fuck. No adrenaline dump, not even like a reflex, like nothing. Didn't flinch, didn't blink, looked the cop directly in his eyes. Hey, maxing out that white privilege because yes, it does exist, especially for an extremely handsome white man like myself. And I know how to work it, and it's cool. So, gave us a warning. I'm half kidding about the white privilege thing, right? So he gave us a warning, but like, that's freedom. Real freedom is being able to be pulled over and not give a fuck because you're not doing anything wrong. That's freedom to me, or that's like one of the promises, right? So that's, it's only like a 10-minute situation. It's kind of funny too because I got pulled over with my aunt's husband about 6 years ago. I don't call him my uncle because she had a husband when I was a kid who he was my uncle, and then he died. So this guy, I just call him her husband, and me and him are estranged anyway. Or some whole other drama. That's a whole other can of worms right there. So I got pulled over with him in 2019, and then today I got pulled over with her. So I was texting my cousin, her daughter. I was like, I have officially been pulled over with Margie and AJ. That is some gangster shit. And I was joking like, it's my fault. I was joking with my aunt about this too. Like, this is my fault. I'm the common denominator here. It was just really funny, man. Like, it had me giddy all freaking morning. It was just funny as hell. So she drops me off. I'm walking up my stairs. She's just pulling out of the parking lot. And of course, that's when I receive a text from my brother with the document with page 6. So like calling my aunt, hey Margie, hold on. Jeff just sent me a text with the documents on it. And blah, blah, blah. But we still decided like, well, we're still just going to wait anyway till Monday. And so later on, I'm go back inside, chill out, and then I go for an hour walk. So today I'm upping it to 3 hours, 3 1-hour walks, because I'm trying to really push myself and make absolutely sure when I get a job that I will not be a weak little pathetic dude who's dragging ass, because that's not the first impression I'm trying to put out when I get hired. And so while I'm walking, I remember I text my aunt like, hey, because my brother sent me a text with the document, so I sent that to her. And then while I'm walking a few hours later, I'm like, hey, I was just making sure, did you get my text with the document? And she was like, yeah, but the bank won't take it because it has a watermark. So it's missing page 6, DMV is closed, and now it's a fucking watermark, right? It's like when it rains, it pours. It's just hilarious. So my cousin had to go get the actual document from the realtor, the person who I've known since I was a kid, if anyone remembers me discussing that. I don't go into too much detail, it's all financial and stuff. I don't need to be sharing all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of a big deal on that. No, I'm just playing. But so that's just kind of funny. And tomorrow is going to be a good morning because I'm having my official Christmas lunch, and it's going to be with my aunt, my cousin, and my other cousin who I haven't mentioned before. Me and 3 ladies, my 2 cousins and my aunt. We were going to go to the place called Franco's because that's me and my dad's spot, but they weren't open today. They're probably not going to be open tomorrow, and they're like across town, so we're just going to go to Chili's. It's corporate. We know they're going to be open, so we're going to Chili's. I haven't eaten at Chili's in like 10 years at least, maybe longer, so it's all good. So, get back from the walk, and I watched the season finale of Pluribus. And I'm not going to say anything, of course, in case anyone watching this plans on watching that show. I would never spoil a Vince Gilligan production because Vince Gilligan is the GOAT of television storytelling, in my opinion. And it was a bit slow paced, I was a bit worried, but there's a payoff at the end. That's why it's a season finale, so thrilled about that. So after that, I went on my second 1-hour walk. And so now I'm like, I'll start this walk. I'm 3 hours into this David Goggins book. I bet the guy who recommended the book to me will never comment on any of my videos ever again. Like he came through and said, I'll subscribe, but you gotta read this book. And now listen to the audiobook and talking about it. I guarantee that's how life works, right? The guy recommended it to me. And so now I'm reading it, hoping to get some validation from the guy in the comments and shit. I bet I'll never hear from this guy again. Because that's how life goes, right? So anyway, on the walk, there's a disc golf course on the university property, and so I got myself a new toy, right? I was walking, and I seen this bad boy. I look around the field, 200-yard radius, there's nobody playing disc golf anywhere. So made sure before I took it, this was an abandoned disc. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that, why not? I can't really play it that well because I dislocated this shoulder because I had a nice little seizure one time when I was doing meth in 2022, and when I came to, my shoulder was dislocated. I don't even know what happened. There was some broken furniture, I had some scratches on my legs, and my shoulder was dislocated. But I have no recollection of it because it was a fucking seizure. So, but that wasn't enough to keep me sober, was it? No, it was not. Of course it wasn't. A seizure? Keep me sober? Come on. You know I'm more hardcore than that. So anyway, I can still throw my left hand. I can throw it softly with my right arm, but I can't be like, blah! Because my arm be like, ugh! So like, that's not an option. So I walked past this church that I saw because it has a real big steeple, I think those things are called. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to church on Sunday because I'm ready to get all the help I can get and meet more people and stuff like that. So I'm walking around with my toy. And about 30 minutes of walking and looping back around towards the area where I found this from, there was like a group of like 5 people playing disc golf. And I was like, the closest I walked past them, I was like probably like 100 yards away from them. And they were like at the spot where I found this. And so I wasn't about to like go up to them and be like, hey, is this yours? Because what if it's not theirs and they say it is theirs anyway? I'm not about to let these people get over on me. I'm a goddamn alcoholic drug addict. Ain't nobody getting over on me. But I also didn't want to look like I'm trying to hide it. I didn't like tuck it under my shirt or like I ain't do nothing wrong. So what I did instead, when I was walking past, where they could see me and I'm 6'8", everybody fucking stares at me. So I know they were fucking staring at me because I'm fucking 6'8", and I get it. When I see people taller than me, I stare at them too. But I only see people taller than me a dozen times a year, and that's if I'm employed. When I'm not employed, I don't see hardly anybody taller than me. I have to be in a retail environment for that to even happen. But a dozen times at the most, that's probably generous. It's probably closer to like 8 or 10 times a year. So instead, I'm just doing this. I'm just throwing it up. You know, so if it is their disc golf, their disc, and they see this tall ass motherfucker and I'm just doing this, you know, just throwing it up, that's me basically giving them an invitation, if it's theirs, to just come up to me and be like, hey, did you find that on the ground over here by any chance? Like, I would immediately hand it to them if they came and asked, because obviously if it's theirs, if they're gonna, or obviously if they're gonna come ask me, it's theirs. I trust people to that extent for sure. So I was throwing it up, and none of them ever came up to me. So for all I know, it was not theirs. So speaking of shit that doesn't belong to me, I almost forgot. My aunt gave me this. So my cousin, one of my cousins went to my house that I lived in with my dad until he passed away on September 12th. This package was by the front door. It was like in a box. It wasn't like in an Amazon box. It was like specific to this company. It's like a bakery. But we didn't know what it was. The address didn't exist. The address on the box didn't exist. And a cousin brought it back into town. My house is like 15 miles outside of town, so we're not about to drive all the way out there to figure out who this belongs to. Sorry. I don't have that much of a Christmas spirit. I don't have that much gas. Not doing it. So she gave it to me, and it's full of like 20 brownies. I got like freaking 10,000 calories in here. I've already eaten like 3 of them. And you know what? Fuck it. It's cool to me. I don't feel guilty. It's whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm not a hero. I'm not a saint. We are not saints. I am not a saint. I'm gonna eat those brownies guilt-free. But so yeah, the disc golf thing. So yeah, I haven't even talked about the meeting yet. You know what? There's nothing to say. It was a meeting. It was cool. Some of the annoying people were there, and the one guy shared twice as always, and that's fine. I just break out my phone. I'm not gonna leave in a huff and puff. I think the only way I'll leave now is if it's like 8:05 and someone's still fucking sharing or some bullshit. But I just break out my phone and bullshit on Twitter. Got people talking to me on Twitter and shit. I said that, you know, humans are more valuable than dogs, and like all of a sudden I'm getting accused of like killing animals and shit. Like, Twitter's wild. I love it. I hate it and I love it at the same time. So yeah, completely unremarkable meeting. Thank God. Good times. And now I'm here making this video, and now I'm about to go walk for another hour. I'm already dead. My legs are hurting. But man, I'm on this Goggins shit right now. Fuck it. I can always just, I don't have to walk for an hour. If I really can't handle it, I can just turn around and walk home, but try to get an hour in there. Anyways, buds, thanks for listening. 10 subscribers. Mr. Beast, don't call it a comeback. You know, you better watch out. 10 subscribers. Thanks for the comments and the likes and stuff, especially the comments for sure. Thank you very much. Love you guys for that. Have a good night.